Hi, I'm Nicole. I am a TA for anatomy. I wanted to make these videos to help connect what we're learning about in class with what is actually going on in our bodies. So I'm going to be going over different movements or stretches so you can actually feel the muscles that we're learning about, and hopefully this will help form a connection between all these different names of muscles and where they're located on the body and what their actual action is. Um, so today I'm going to be starting with the facial muscles. So find a place where you can make a bunch of different faces, and then we can get started. So first, I'd like for you to just start raising your eyebrows. And so this movement, we're really engaging our frontalis muscle, which is this muscle that's just on our forehead. Next, if you scrunch your eyebrows together, this forms these wrinkles that a lot of people get Botoxed out or are unhappy about. And what's causing these wrinkles is actually a combination of 3 different muscles. So your procerus, your corrugated supercilia, and your depressor supercilia are all engaging to bring those muscles close together. Next, just open and close your eyes. And while we're doing this, we're engaging our orbicularis oculi when we close our eyes, and we're using our levator palpebrae super aureus when we open that eye. Next, just sit here and try and flare your nostrils. And so when we flare our nostrils, we're actually using this muscle that runs along the width of our nose called the nasalis. This one's easy to remember because it's your nasal cavity, nasalis. Yeah, that's majorly used for that kind of flaring of your nostrils. Next, I want you to do a big old smile. And so while you're smiling, the corners of your mouth are being pulled up. And the major muscle involved with this corners being pulled up on the sides of your cheeks is called your zygomaticus major. And this muscle actually is what causes dimples in some people. So if you have big cheeks, you might have these folds that form. Next, I want you to just move around with your upper lip and try and lift it. So the different movements you make with this, you might feel it in different spots in your face, and that's actually because there's multiple muscles that are involved with just moving your lip up and down. So one of those muscles is your zygomaticus minor, which runs above your zygomaticus major. So it connects a little more medial on your face. Another muscle that we learned about is the levator labii super aureus, and this muscle runs from around your eye down alongside your nose. So see if you can move your mouth to get a feeling like that. Next, see if you can make a frown. And whenever you draw down the corners of your mouth, so opposite of the movement of your zygomaticus major, you're using your depressor anguli oris, and that draws the corners of your mouth down. If you make the face like the emoji, that's using your depressor labii inferioris for pulling down your lower lip, and then also your platysma. And your platysma is actually this really, really large superficial muscle that runs actually all the way down the front of your neck. So if you do this for kind of a long time, you may feel it down along here, and that's just your platysma that's actually contracting and causing this like major movement through the front of your neck. And then finally, when you pout, that is caused by contraction of your mentalis. Next, I'm going to go over your mastication muscles. These are the muscles that are involved in chewing. So your first one is your masseter, which is easy, mastication, masseter. So if you open your mouth, you can feel this real meaty muscle in the back of your cheeks, or if you clench your mouth, you can also feel it. This is your major muscle that is attached to your mandible and really helps you get the movement of your jaw to chew. When you suck, you might feel some muscle movement laterally along your cheeks. And this is the work of your buccinator. So this is one of your first muscles to really develop function because it's super useful for babies to be able to suck. And then the next three muscles that are involved in chewy are all connected to your hyoid bone, which this is the bone in between your larynx and your mandible. It's the like horseshoe shaped bone that's kind of just suspended in your neck. So these three muscles all end in hyoid, which makes it easy to remember. So you have your mylohyoid, your geniohyoid, as well as your stylohyoid. And so to be able to feel these muscles, if you just look up and just kind of like move your neck slowly side to side, you can just really feel like the stretch along that front side of your neck. And it kind of like feels like you can feel it in the back of your throat as well. So that's your mylo, genio, and stylohyoid. The next one is your digastric muscle. So if you look up with your thumbs under your chin, and while you look up, if you press your tongue on top of the roof of your mouth, you'll really feel this digastric muscle. For the next two muscles that are involved with mastication, it's best to feel them from inside your mouth. So if you need to wash your hands before you stick your fingers in your mouth, I strongly suggest doing that. And so these two muscles, you have your lateral petrigoid and your medial petrigoid. So to feel your medial petrigoid, what you're going to do is you're going to stick your finger along your bottom row of teeth until you reach kind of just like that meaty area back there. And then if you clench your jaw or close your jaw, then you should feel this like muscle movement, and that should be your medial petrigoid. So just alongside the teeth, and you get into kind of meaty area. And then it really presses against it. You can feel this like muscle pressing against your finger. And then for the lateral petrigoid, you're going to stick your finger up alongside your upper teeth and go past your last molar. And then there's kind of just a pocket. And when you close your mouth, you'll feel something pressing against your finger, and that should be your lateral petrigoid. And then the last thing we're going to go over is your tongue muscles. So The movement here, just sticking out your tongue and bringing it back in. So when you stick out your tongue, you're using your genioglossus. So your genio is a root of chin. So you can kind of think of it, and glossus is a root for your tongue. So you can think of it as your tongue moving towards your chin, so genioglossus. And then to retract the tongue, you're using your hyoglossus, your styloglossus, and your palatoglossus. These 4 muscles are also used for elevating and depressing it. So if you just move your tongue up and down in your mouth, when you are elevating your tongue, you're using your palatoglossus and your styloglossus. And when you depress your tongue, you're also using your genioglossus and your hyoglossus. So that's it for all of the facial muscles that we went over in class and in lab. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.